College Football Hall of Famer Dre Bly.
Coach Dre Bly, here we go.
Coach.
Fire away.
Recruiting wise, two big areas that Carolina's been focusing on corresponds with you. That you were living in Charlotte, originally from the Tidewater. Those are very, very vital recruiting grounds for Carolina. What's your impact on those areas?
Well, I've lived in Charlotte for the last 9 years since I retired. I wanted to settle down in Charlotte, so with my kids being active in sports and being active in the community, I've established a lot of relationships there, and that's when all this coaching and stuff started for me was in Charlotte. So through that, I established a lot of relationships and have built great rapport with a lot of families and stuff in Charlotte. So realized how much talent we had in Charlotte. I can't remember what it was like when I was in school. I know our team was basically built during the northern part of North Carolina. That's what they say. Mostly all the athletes that we had back when I was in school came from, they said, north of 95. And so, but now I'm realizing that Charlotte has a lot of talent. I mean, it's big, and Coach, as soon as he was hired, he understood how important dominating Charlotte was, and so, I've been there. I have a lot of relationships there, so I can play a tremendous role, and with the rest of the staff there in Charlotte to help bring some guys from Charlotte here. And
you being from the Tidewater, well-known, All-American, that name, Dre Bly, it helps a lot in that area.
It does. It does. I was one of the few guys during my time to come, and I had great success here through the guys that I was surrounded with, and what people don't understand is, Coach even mentioned it when I came out. Even years before I got here, guys like Famous Amos and Dwight Hoyer, Lawrence Taylor. I claim him as well, even though he's a little further up. But we had a great deal of success, being able to get some of the guys from the 7-5 to come here, and they played key roles along with the rest of the guys that was here. But just making people aware of, what helped make us a great team, when Mac Brown was here and even before. And so I think with me coming, having the success that I did, and now with me being on staff now, sort of helps. And, I can go tell my story. I'm gonna know all the high school coaches. My high school coach that I had, he's like a legend back home. He's won numerous games, a lot of games, so people are very familiar with him. So it's easier. It helps when I go back and tell my story, knowing all the principals. And, my mom is one of 11. They all reside in the 757. My dad is one of 5. They all reside in the 757. So that sort of helps my cause when I go back home to recruit, is that, I know everybody there. So I'm excited about the opportunity, and I think we're heading in the right direction.
So when did you know that you wanted to coach, and when did you realize you wanted to coach at this level?
Well, when I retired. My oldest boy, who's going to Charlotte, when I first got going, when I was in Denver, when he first got old enough to start playing sports, I was coaching baseball. I don't know if you guys realize or remember, but I played half of a season here in baseball. And so that sort of jump-started my coaching career, youth coaching career, and realized I had a passion. And, I had a skill to motivate kids, to lead kids. I was passionate about it and fell in love with it. I studied sports science when I was here. My mother and father taught school for 30-some years. My sister teaches biology at Murray High School. So it's sort of in my blood. It's in my DNA to teach and to mentor kids and to give back. And realized I had a special gift, and fell in love with it. With me being a Jumpman athlete, Fred Winfield, who's the president for the Hornets, one of my mentors, and he was hearing about some of the good things I was doing in the community in Charlotte, and some of the people that was following me on social media was seeing some of the things that I was doing, because I like to post and sort of like advertise my kids, kids I coach, my own kids, and people were sort of seeing some of the things I was doing. And Fred was telling me, he was like, look, dude, if you want to coach, that window is closing. But I see your passion, I see the impact that you have on kids. If this is something that you want to do, you need to go ahead and dive in head first, because that window is closing. And then I just, I thought about it, because I was doing a little bit of broadcasting as well. I was doing some stuff with ACC Network, and I was doing some stuff with the Panthers locally on the radio. But just realized, even though I was talking sports still, it just wasn't enough for me. and having a chance to impact kids' lives and the bonding with the fellas, teaching. I fell in love with that. And if you don't know anything about me, the one thing you will know is that I'm very, very competitive. I like to win in everything I do. I like to compete, and I fell in love with it. And so I just decided, and Coach Brown was following me as well on social media, and he was a big advocate for me in my journey in coaching. And so I just decided that I started the youth football organization in Charlotte with Deems May and a couple of other guys, and that's when I realized, okay, well, I can recruit, because to build my organization, I had to go from house to house, go from park to park to find kids, and realize that people could resonate with my name, and people sort of knew who I was based on what I did here. And just realized that was a calling of mine, and just dove in head first.
A lot of highly successful athletes, when they get into coaching, they have a little trouble at times because guys can't do what they did. And they have a difficult time, I think, translating, understanding how to communicate, how to do that to guys that maybe don't have the same natural gifts. Has that been a challenge for you at all?
No, I realize and understand that what I did, I'm not expecting my kids, I got kids to play ball. I can't expect my kids to be able to do what I did. Like, I played with some great guys. Played with Champ Bailey. I played with Aeneas Williams. They specialize in what they specialize in. I specialize in what I specialize in. And the kids I coach, they're going to specialize in what they specialize in. So, at the end of the day, and that's the thing that most players struggle with, is expecting these guys to be able to do what you did. That's not an issue of mine. My deal in this coaching is, and I really want these kids to really have a chance to experience what I experienced, and that's the fun, all the things I learned being here. I think I have the gift to teach that, and so I think I'm a little different from most coaches, because the brotherhood that I share with the guys that I played with, all these kids that we recruit and all the kids that I'm coaching, I've been there, done that. So it means something to me that they have a chance to do what I did and did what Algie, some of the guys that I played with, did. So it means something to me. So that's what inspired me to be here. That's what inspired me to do my job to the best of my ability. The stereotype of professional athletes coaching, that motivates me more than anything. The stereotype, people don't think I was going to be equipped for this job. So that motivates me to come in and to kick high punts and to do the best job I can do. And so I'm on fire to coach, man. The brotherhood that I talked about, the fact that my brothers have struggled the last 5 or 6 years, or the last couple of years, more importantly, when they talk about Carolina football, that means something to me that they have something good to talk about. So I'm on fire to coach. I'm motivated to be here. I'm blessed for the opportunity that Coach Brown has given me, and I'm excited to go, man.
This is your first year recruiting. What's it been like recruiting, and what's the key to recruiting in North Carolina, at UNC in particular? The good things, the challenges that you've experienced this period?
Well, recruiting for me, you have to be able to have the personality. And I think I have the personality. I don't bite my tongue. You have to be personable, and that's me. You have to have I forget fast, and that's one of the things I learned from playing football. I don't bring no negativity to work. If I experience something bad, I forget fast. My wife tell me that it can be good and also can be bad, but that's what I live by. And so in recruiting, it's been a joy for me, because all I do is just tell my story. Just tell what being a Tar Heel has done for me, done for me and my fellow Tar Heels and my teammates. And so I don't have to lie. In this recruiting game, sometimes, and I've been a part of it, coaches can give you candy and tell you lies. They can tell you what you want to hear. I don't believe in that. I believe in being honest. Because of my experiences playing the game and dealing with coaches, sometimes going to tell you what you think you should hear. I'm going to be the complete opposite. I'm going to tell guys the truth. I'm going to be completely honest with those guys. And so the recruiting has been good for me. I think Coach Brown has assembled a great staff of guys that have had great success recruiting, guys that have different personalities. I think all of us work well together, so I'm excited about this opportunity. What made us do what we did when I was in school, we dominated in-state recruiting. So when Coach Brown got here, he made it a point to hit every state, to hit every school in the state. And when I was in school here, talking about the class that I came in with, we had about 10 to 15 dudes that played in the Shrine Bowl. So when they went to the Shrine Bowl, it sent a strong message to the other schools who dominated the state. And so that's why we were successful. And so Matt understands what made us what we were when I was in school. So the first day he got back here, he made it a point and made sure every coach knew that we had to dominate this in-state recruitment. And so that's what we've been focusing on. We're going to treat the Tidewater area like it's in-state. And anything else that comes from that, we'll spot recruit certain areas. We've had success in Georgia. We've had success in Florida, South Carolina, and we hit those states. But basically the nucleus of this team will be built in-state.
You were a coaching intern with a couple of NFL teams. Just kind of how valuable was that experience?
Say it again.
You were a coaching intern with a couple of NFL teams.
Yes, sir.
Just kind of how valuable was that experience? Kind of just going through the spring.
It's been a great experience. That is what basically validated me as a coach. That let me know that I can do it. Because the one thing that they talk about with former players when they get into coaching is if we can handle the hours. And so, most guys, they say they come and want to do a couple of hours and they want to go play golf. And first of all, I don't golf. I can't golf. I'm like a 45 handicap. So, but having a chance to do, Ronald Curry is one of my good buddies who played here. He's the receiver coach with the New Orleans Saints. And he's sort of, for the NFL, they have this, this internship for minorities to get in to really experience it, to see if there's something they want to do. And having a chance to go work under Sean Payton, who's like Bill Parcells, who's just like Bill Belichick, that was the icing on the cake, because if I could handle Sean Payton's meetings and his structure and everything that comes with football, I can handle anything. It's very detailed.